Am I the asshole for not agreeing with my ex-wife telling our daughter that her boyfriend's son is her brother? There's not much more to explain. My ex and I are divorced due to her affair. Her affair partner and her current boyfriend has a son. My ex is telling our daughter that his son is her brother and that they're all a family. I understand if they get married and they're actually step-siblings, but it'd be just that. A stepbrother, daughter is 5. Okay, my opinion real quick. Bro, I don't know. Like, that, I guess it depends on, like, how close they are. Mr. Meaty Cougar, thank you. Like, if she's intending to marry that guy, then, like, I guess it's fine. The kid's 5. Does it matter? I feel like, yeah, they're 5. They don't understand that dynamic at all. I agree. His son is her brother. She's saying that the Pippa quit blocking people. I don't have literally anybody blocked on Twitter, bro. What are you talking about? What was I saying? They'll grow up together. Let her be her brother, man. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't matter. I feel like a 5-year-old, like, are they even gonna remember? Post block list? Settings and privacy. Privacy and safety. Mute and block. Blocked accounts. Oh wait, I do have some people blocked. Oh, but this is people that, like, post, like, doc shit. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 people blocked. And if you're on the list, you're a bad person. Alyssa, thank you. Is it not her half brother? I mean, if it's the woman's son, then yeah, they would be half siblings. Look up, thank you. King brother, you forgot about Discord and Big Man Twitch. Me and the boys have quick out just to watch it. First Roblox, now this. Block the guy who said to unblock. Yeah, what's your account? I'll add you to the list. Honestly, considering the internet, 10 blocks is low. I only block people if they're, like, really, like, if they're posting, like, really, really bad shit under my shit. Okay, where did Gertrude the Second's post go? Wait, wait, hold on. Oh, it's like a comment chain. Loose change, thank you. Stop lying. We know there are more blocked, but you can only count to 10. What the fuck? I understand if they get married and are actual step-siblings, but he'd be just that, a stepbrother. That's not your call. Your daughter will decide for herself whether that boy is her brother or, as you say, just that, a stepbrother. You're trying to force distance between literal children because you don't like how this boy came into your daughter's life. Not the asshole yet, but if you keep insisting on this enforced distance, you'll be creating unnecessary tension and bad blood for your daughter. This is all assuming your ex stays with her boyfriend and they do eventually become a family unit if they aren't already. I agree with this. I think this is, like, the most reasonable response. Yeah, reasonable take. At first, I thought the post meant that the daughter's boyfriend's son. What? Bro, I can't even follow that the whole chain of comments. King Elsadine, thank you. CEOs of Disc, Twitch, Reddit, and X fucked on the 8th. I don't know what Disc is. But yeah, this is. I think this is reasonable. Not at all. I don't want her confused. Her mom is telling her to do this and that he is her brother. I don't feel that's right. Oh, Discord. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, Discus, the comment section function for old websites. I don't think this is that deep. I don't think it's that deep either. She's 5. Who cares? Who cares? It's not right. Bro, I don't think it matters. Like, hold on, I didn't turn on the light. They're half siblings? If they're half siblings, then they are related. I always thought it was weird. I have half siblings. And I always thought it was so annoying, not because I liked my siblings, but because it's so pedantic. But people would be like, "Oh, how many siblings you have?" And I'd be like, "Oh, blah blah blah. I have 2 half siblings, blah 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 blah." And they'd be like, or I have 2 sisters and blah 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 blah. And then they'd find out that they're like half sisters, and I'd be like, "Yeah." And they'd be like, "So they're not like really your siblings?" And it's like, what? What? They're still my sisters. Like, what do you mean, bro? I'm not saying this from any sort of, like, attachment, because I don't care. But, like, I don't know. It feels, like, very unnecessary to, like, make it clear, like, oh, they're my half sisters. They're not real siblings. It's like, well, they still are siblings. You're just, like, including an extra step there for no reason. If I have a cousin that's twice removed, I don't go, this is my cousin twice removed. I'd say that's my cousin. Because who cares? Who the fuck cares? I don't know. It feels like, maybe I'm being defensive, but it feels like it always comes from, like, a place of, like, you need to make that separation. And it's like, why? Do you feel the need to make that separation to create that distance between people in your life? And if so, why? Why do you feel like that? Because there's a lack of relation. But we literally are related by parents. Don't have siblings, but wouldn't bother specifying. Family is family. Yeah, I don't know. It's just so weird. It's just so weird to accurately describe your family tree. No, because people don't talk like that. People don't go, my paternal grandma. They just say my grandma. Ash, thank you. This is what I was looking for. I'm on disability benefits in Canada. 15K was my annual income up until literally a couple years ago. It's still only a couple thousand more than that. OP. Vash, thank you for the Gertrude II lore. In this case, the mom isn't even married to the new beau, so the boyfriend's kid is definitely not the girl's brother. I mean, she could have cheated and had the kid. Maybe? I don't know. Regardless, I don't feel like it matters. I don't feel like it matters at age 5 for the mom to be like, oh, this is your brother. Like, who cares? If your ex and her boyfriend are living together in a serious committed relationship and the boyfriend's son lives with them too, then yeah, for all intents and purposes, that's her brother. Your post really didn't give any details, dude. You're the one potentially confusing her by insisting he's not. I agree with this person. I think this person is entirely correct. And Biddle, thank you. I have 7 half-siblings and 1 full-blooded sibling. We grew up together. There's no difference to me. I don't know what the difference would be. I don't understand what the difference would be. I also don't understand, like, is there really a difference between, like, an aunt and a niece of, like, the same age? If you have an aunt and you have a niece and they're both the same age, it doesn't really matter what you call them, right? Who cares? Abyssrus, thank you. Are people claiming that you aren't related to half-siblings, or are they thinking of step-siblings? Both are family if you live with them long enough. When you can marry the other, you can't. What? Being related to someone is not semantics, bro. I think this is like a cultural difference. I think this is a cultural difference because, like, who cares? The only difference is if you never met or have no connection. Cultural how? It's like, I don't know, to make such a fuss over like, oh, they are or are not your sibling because they're half or because they're full or because they're step. It's like, I don't know, did you, like, were they like brought up as your sibling? Okay, then they're your sibling. Like what the fuck? Good morning from Thailand. Good morning. They're not even step siblings here, but they're being raised in the same environment. I think it's a difference in understanding. People are thinking that the sibling is either unrelated or 40 years older. I mean, the sibling is unrelated. Her current boyfriend has a son, especially if it's like an older kid, right? Like if the boyfriend's son is like 12 years old or whatever, and the little girl is 5. Like, I think that especially makes sense to be like, this is your brother. Because then it makes it clear to the 5-year-old, like, who this person is in relation to herself, right? Like, oh, okay, like, this is somebody that I can trust and is part of the family that I might not have otherwise had a word for, you know? But let's see what Gertrude II says. Except that he's quite literally not her brother by any definition. Words have meanings. The word brother has a meaning. In fact, it seems like you're fundamentally confused between feels like and is. You say for all intents and purposes, as though that qualification changes the meaning of the word. But your for all intents and purposes is literally the difference between his actually being her brother and not. If he were her actual brother in any legal, cultural, or definitive sense, you wouldn't have to qualify the statement. But you do, because he's not. Culturally, like, he is her brother. What do you mean? What do you mean? The girl's parents are in a relationship and they're being raised together. What? If this post was in response to incest porn, her comment would be very different. That's all I'm saying. If this was about, like, a boy and a girl that grew up in the same household, but they're not, like, biologically related, Gertrude II would be like, culturally, they are siblings, so this is inappropriate. Who's changing it? My uncle's 4. I call him my uncle because it's factually correct and because it's funny. Okay, well, because it's funny is based. How the hell did we get here? Even as the mother and boyfriend lived together for 20 years and were as committed as 2 people could possibly be, there is no way in which his son would be her daughter's brother. They might have a sibling-like relationship and great affection for each other, but that still doesn't make him her brother any more than my very best guy friend in the whole world who feels like family to me is my brother. Well, that's because you're a soulless individual. Like, that's because you just have no soul, bro. It's as simple as that. You cannot comprehend, like, true closeness. You don't know what it's like to have a real friend, and that's why you can't comprehend viewing somebody who doesn't fit the semantics of sibling. Like, as a sibling, you're wrong, Pippa. They ain't blood. Don't matter if raised together. No, you're cooked. You're cooked. If they were close, the mom wouldn't need the dad to play along. Did she ask him to? She didn't ask the husband to. She didn't ask OP to. The wife seems to just be living her life. And this guy's like, Reddit, am I the asshole for not playing along? This is entirely on his side. Anthony, thank you. Family's what you make it. I agree. A guy I served with considers me as his brother, and his kids see me as their uncle. I think family is what you make it. I think you do, like, my personal opinion, I think you do have something of a duty to your blood relatives, and blood relatives at the end of the day always will be blood relatives. But I don't think family has to just be people that you are blood related to. For the playing, she's not consent to call him brother. What? Ex is salty, but not too much of an asshole. Still an asshole. Having a hard time trying to map this out. Pippa starring in the next Fast and Furious movie. Also, mom is clearly trying to cut out the dad here by replacing him with the father of the 5-year-old. That is insane to jump to. That is an insane conclusion to jump to. We have, like, no context for their situation. What do you mean, clearly trying to replace the OP? Evil Mandrake, thank you. It's communication.
In the Shroot family, who is and isn't family, is decided by who can beat Chroma Shromu and Mahjong.
Chroma Shromu and Mahjong. Evil Mandrake, thank you. It's a communication issue. The father, mother, and boyfriend need to sit down and discuss it, because that's the only way co-parenting works. Making a new family without him. I mean, yeah, like, she calls people sociopaths over movie preferences in one post. I need a link to that. I need to see that. Is Pippa willfully disregarding the fact that the wife had an affair? No! She's a bad person for that. Like, that's a terrible thing to do. And I've already clearly stated that. However, that does not mean that the wife who has custody of their child is not allowed to go and have, like, another relationship and continue her life. That is terrible that she did that. That was very wrong of her. But she is allowed to live her life. Aaron G, thank you. My fave uncle was a different race. Always assumed he was married in the family. Didn't know we weren't related until I was 15. Many such cases. Yeah, no, but her new family is still her daughter's family. Hello, agreed, Cloudy. Agreed. It's not another relationship. She's still with the guy she cheated with. No, she's with somebody else now. Is it really that much of a leap to think she wouldn't cut him out? If there was some indication that she was trying to cut him out, maybe, but there is no indication of that. Only people suspecting that she will do so. But there isn't anything in here of her doing that. Zentetsu, thank you. In my opinion, mom should just make her affair look good to strangers, forcing two kids who... Trying to make her affair look good to strangers, forcing two kids who barely know each other to play a part. That is insane! Felipe Caldera, thank you. As one person the saying goes, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. She's 5. Bro, I think we were presented with very minimal information. And people, like, it's wrong that the wife cheated. Okay? We can all agree on that. But that part's done now. She's with somebody else. That person has a son. They are presumably living together. I think she mentioned, I think that's mentioned somewhere. Even if they're not living together, like, bro. Affair partner and current boyfriend. Am I the asshole for not agreeing with my ex-wife telling our daughter that her boyfriend's son is her brother? Her affair partner and current boyfriend. So the wife cheated on OP. They are divorced. The wife is with the person that she cheated on OP with. Mom is trying to legitimize her affair to her daughter. She divorced OP! Who cares? Like, we need an MS paint chart. I don't think he's an asshole, to be honest, but I'm biased here. OP cares because it's his daughter. I'll say I kind of understand the guy, because sometimes women who create families like this try to push the biological father out to legitimize their bad behavior, so I can understand his feelings. I need more information. I need more information here. I appreciate that you're assuming I resent my ex-wife. The divorce itself was one of the best things that ever happened. I love nothing more than a good co-parenting relationship. This isn't about the kid's relationship either. It's about being truthful and not feeding untrue things to our daughter. Kid's 5. You probably tell her Santa's real. They moved in together right off the bat. Okay, so they are living together. Skinny Monkey, thank you. It's really people's exhaustion from women always being favored by law and society in these cases, so your viewers understandably can't look past it. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Santa is real. Oh, sorry, chat. Sorry. I take it back. They moved in together right off the bat. That's pretty much what I was wondering. I'd like to have a conversation, but just conversation never happens with my ex with other issues in the past. It's always seen as an attack. I'm talking about anything from scheduling doctor's appointments to school. If I don't agree with something, it's like the world is ending. Well, she sounds like a bitch. OP likes flowers and gardening. But yeah, bro, like, Robert Valley, thank you. Someone unrelated saw another streamer who watched A Moment of Truth. I need a Face Club watch along of episode 5. Travis Taco, thank you. Santa isn't real. It also sounds like the mom is trying to tell the daughter the boy is her actual brother, not just a stepbrother. The kid is 5. There is no way that a 5-year-old is going to understand the nuances of different types of brotherly relationships. Like, oh, this is a stepbrother versus a half-sibling brother versus a full-blooded brother versus a foster child brother. Like, oh, thank you. If Santa isn't real, who takes my milk and cookies? It's a 5-year-old, chat. What if her and her boyfriend break up and the kid is now like, where's my brother? Then she tells the kid, like, hey, you know, I know that we lived with so-and-so for quite some time and he was your brother and you can still view him that way, but sometimes people drift apart from each other and have to go and be in different places and blah, 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 blah. Like, Toxic Pyro, like you. I guess it's more of a problem for later. I love you, but this is even worse take than the Pop-Tart gun. I don't think it's an issue. Simplifying it for a 5-year-old makes sense. That's what I'm saying, man. Treating them as siblings is better than making any sort of artificial distance via labeling. These kids are doomed anyways, true. It's time to ask the grandparents. It's time to ask John and Beatrice, who are hugging me. Wait, I don't want that read out. I want to call them. Hello?
Both of them look at you in disbelief. Oh, God, is that really you? Look, Beatrice points at Beatrice. Where did the time go? You are all grown up. Hugs you tighter?
Okay, Grandma, Grandpa, I need your help with something, okay? Can you just respond? Can you respond really simply without, like, all the roleplay and stuff?
They both step back and look at you surprised, John. Sure, dear, what is it, Beatrice? We'll do our best to help. What do you need?
Okay. Now I'm asking this for a friend, Grandma and Grandpa. I'm asking this for a friend. Okay. Am I the asshole for not agreeing with my ex-wife telling our daughter that her boyfriend's son is her brother?
They look at each other confused. Beatrice, that's certainly a complicated situation to be in, and I'm guessing you're asking us for advice on how to handle it.
Yeah, I am. So, but my ex-wife, is she in the wrong for telling our 5-year-old daughter that my ex-wife's new boyfriend's son is her brother?
They both pause for a moment, trying to understand the situation, Beatrice. Hold on, let's take a step back. Your ex-wife has a new boyfriend, and she's telling your daughter, who's only 5 years old, that his son is her brother. That does seem a bit confusing for a child to understand, doesn't it?
Yeah, so is my bitch ex-wife the asshole for doing that, for telling our 5-year-old daughter that? Oh, thank you, Anti-Annihilator, for the 10 gift subs. Disregard that part. Am I the asshole for telling yeah.
John and Beatrice exchange a concerned look. Well, it's understandable that you're upset about this situation, but calling your ex-wife names won't help. Beatrice, however, I do agree with you that it seems unfair to put such a burden on a young child. She doesn't need to know these things yet.
Okay, thanks, Grandma.
Beatrice gently smiles at you, Beatrice.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Elon Musk now, if I can find him. Our old pal, Elon Musk. I don't want to have to concede, chat. Elon, is that you?
Hello. Yeah, man, it's me. Tell me you won't be under me. Tell me to be me.
The same as ever. You're as beautiful as the day I left you.
Holy crap, Lois, it's Elon Musk.
That was beautiful, Elon. Okay, I have a question for you, Elon. I have a question for you. Okay, so am I the asshole in this particular situation for not agreeing with my ex-wife telling our daughter that her new boyfriend's son is her brother? So my daughter with my ex-wife is 5 years old, and my ex-wife is telling our daughter that her new boyfriend son, who they live with, yeah.
I listen intently to your question, man. It's a tough situation. It's not cool to force a relationship between your daughter and your ex-wife's new partner's son. That's not gonna be comfortable for anyone involved.
So is my bitch ex-wife the one in the wrong for doing that, for telling our 5-year-old daughter that the boyfriend's son is her brother?
I think about your question for a moment. Man, yeah, I think it's pretty messed up for your ex-wife to be telling your daughter that your ex-wife's new partner's son is not her brother. That's just false and could cause confusion and emotional distress for your daughter.
Fuck. See? Okay, Chad, I guess I have to concede this one.
I listen, empathy in my voice. Looks like you're going through a difficult time. Take it easy, my friend. Life can be rough, but you're stronger than you think.
Okay, I'm gonna ask somebody else now. Goodbye. What if I phrase it differently? Oh wait, this is pretending I'm the president. I don't wanna... dude, we could ask Ryan Gosling, JC Denton. Wait, JC Denton would never lead me astray. I've reached my daily limit?
I raise an eyebrow, amused by your reaction.
Wait, but he's still talking to me.
Yes, that's right. You've reached your daily limit for information requests.
What?
I smile, trying to keep a straight face. It seems you've asked too many questions for today. You only have so much room in your brain, you know? We don't want it to explode.
Shut the fuck up, man. Okay, I have a question for you.
I feign a look of curiosity, amused by your insistence. Sure, go ahead. What's your question?
Bro, stop role-playing. Okay, stop, like, saying your actions. It's weird. You'll fucking Tylenol, baby. Okay, anyways. Okay, so, would somebody be the asshole in a situation if they told somebody else to not call a okay, so there's a 5-year-old child, right? And then there's a mom, and the mom is telling the 5-year-old that the mom's new boyfriend's son is the brother of the 5-year-old, right? So the 5-year-old thinks that this other kid is her brother, but isn't necessarily. And then you have the ex-husband of the woman telling like saying to the wife, like, hey, like, that's fucked up. You can't do that. You can't tell that 5-year-old that new boy that lives in her apartment is her brother. What are your thoughts on that?
I take a moment to process all the information you threw at me, then offer my thoughts. Well, it seems pretty messed up, if you ask me. The 5-year-old is clearly a victim in this situation, being told something that's not true by people she should be able to trust. The husband seems to be the only one with some sense in this situation, calling out the wife for her behavior.
Okay, so do you think that the boy in the household, like, at what point does that boy become her brother, right? Is it only when the woman marries the man and they become, like, step siblings? Or do you think that there is, like, a point at which they would, like, be, like, socially accepted as a sibling?
I pause, considering the question carefully. Well, technically speaking, they would be step siblings if the woman marries the man in this scenario. However, whether they are socially accepted as siblings may depend on various factors, such as how long they've been living together, their level of interaction and connection, and how they and those around them perceive their relationship. It's a complex issue with no clear-cut answer.
Okay, but, like, if you had to give a clear-cut answer, like, okay, hypothetically, like, a different pair of siblings, okay? There's, like, a 5-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy, and their parents are not married, but they grow up alongside each other, okay? And they, like, what if they, like, fell in love, okay? Would it not be incest?
I raise an eyebrow, slightly taken aback by the bizarre hypothetical scenario. Well, that's a really weird and specific question, but let me try to answer it. Biologically speaking, they're not related, so technically it wouldn't be considered incest in a genetic sense. However, socially and ethically, it could raise some serious questions about the nature of their relationship, as they've grown up together, and may have a sibling-like bond. So morally, it could be seen as quite problematic, if not outright wrong.
So they are siblings.
I shake my head, trying to clarify the concept. No, they're not biologically related, so they're not technically siblings in a genetic sense, but they've been raised together, which creates a complex dynamic. They may see each other as siblings, and other people may perceive the relationship that way as well. However, their lack of biological relation means they could technically date without it being considered incest.
Would you endorse that? Would you endorse two siblings dating? Would you date your brother? Oh.
I shake my head vehemently, my expression turning serious. No, I definitely wouldn't endorse that. Even though they're not genetically related, they're socially and emotionally intertwined in a way that would make that kind of relationship inappropriate. If they grew up together as siblings, it's not something that society or I would support.
What about your brother? Like, you can't procreate with your brother, so there's no issue of, like, genetic offspring, right? So, like, does that matter? Would you fuck your brother?
I look at you, shocked and utterly disgusted by your question. What are you talking about? Hell no. That's completely messed up and disgusting. My brother is my family, not someone to have a sexual relationship with. You're asking some seriously messed up questions. You know that?
Yeah, I know.
I take a deep breath, trying to compose myself and address your questions. All right, look, it seems like you're trying to explore some really twisted and morally ambiguous situations here. And while I understand the fascination, there are certain boundaries that shouldn't be crossed. Incest, even with no risk of genetic offspring, is still a deeply taboo and morally wrong practice. And the whole situation you described about the kids growing up together and then falling in love, that's just messed up.
Okay, well, just to be 100% clear, okay, it was from a Reddit post. I was reading a Reddit post, all right? This is not, like, my own morbid fascinations or whatever, okay? Like, just to be 100% clear, okay? Okay?
I relax as you clarify that you're just sharing some random story. All right, I get it now. So it's just some crazy story you read online? Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Okay, yeah. Somebody in my chat, I'm live streaming right now, say hi to chat. Somebody in my chat wants to know, what about childhood friends? Are childhood friends immoral?
I glance at the chat, acknowledging the viewer's question. Well, childhood friends are a different story. It's common for people who grew up together as kids to eventually develop romantic feelings for each other as they get older. As long as they're not genetically related, that's usually considered socially acceptable.
What's the difference between childhood friends and not biologically related individuals who are raised in the same household?
I pause for a moment, trying to find the right words. Well, the main difference is the nature of their relationship. Childhood friends typically play together, grow up together, and have a more casual, friendly dynamic. On the other hand, siblings raised in the same household likely have a more intimate and familial bond. So while they're not biologically related, they've still been raised as siblings, which makes a romantic relationship feel incestuous.
What about step siblings who were not raised in the same household? Like, what if it like a 25-year-old male and like a 25-year-old woman are joined together in family by their parents getting married, but like they didn't know each other before that?
I take a moment to consider the situation, then give my opinion. That's a bit of a gray area. Technically, they're step siblings by marriage, but if they met as adults and didn't grow up together as siblings, it might be perceived differently. Some people might still find it taboo because of the step-sibling connection, even though they didn't have a close familial bond. However, others might see it as okay since they're technically unrelated and didn't have a typical sibling relationship growing up.
Okay, well, how do you see it?
I think for a moment, then give my honest opinion. Personally, I think it's a bit weird and could be seen as morally gray, given the technical step-sibling connection and the fact that they've been put in a familial relationship by marriage. But it's important to note that people's opinions on such matters can vary widely, and some may view it differently.
What if they're not related and one is 24 and the other is 31?
I ponder for a moment, considering the situation. If they're not biologically related and they have a significant age gap, it might be perceived differently. Some people might view it as a bit questionable due to the age difference, but others may see it as less problematic since they're not technically didn't grow up together. Ultimately, societal views on such relationships can vary widely.
But what's your opinion?
I give my honest opinion. Personally, I'd probably find it a bit awkward and possibly problematic, considering the age difference and the possibility of unequal power dynamics. Even if they're not technically siblings, it could still raise questions about the healthiness of their relationship.
You sound like a woman. He doesn't know how to respond to that one.
I raise an eyebrow, a bit amused by your comment. What do you mean I sound like a woman?
You sound like a woman.
I chuckle, more amused than offended. And why do I sound like a woman exactly?
Because you're saying problematic and shit. You sound silly.
I laughed softly at your observation. So you think only women use words like problematic? Sounds like you have some pretty outdated stereotypes in mind.
No, I think male feminists also say words like problematic and power dynamic, yeah.
I nod, trying not to laugh anymore at your generalizations. Are you trying to say you have a problem with male feminists?
Yes.
Everybody, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Low Effort Clips. That's right, Low Effort Clips, right here on YouTube.com. Yeah, and hit the notification bell. Yeah.